Good Monday morning, guys. It is time for social media chat, 10 a.m. Central every single Monday. And today we're going to talk about setting goals. And we're going to talk about SMART goals. We're going to talk about setting your daily action plan. So this is one of my favorite things to talk about. My name's Cathy Callahan, and I'm streaming this inside of the Moms Building Online Businesses group where I go live every single Monday. I'm also streaming this over on my business page and on my YouTube channel. So one of the things I love to help people with is setting goals and creating a plan. And I'm a network marketer, I'm a business coach, and in my network marketing business, one of the only ways I've been able to treat my business like a business is to be able to set goals. And what's interesting as a business coach, the more that I talk to people, when I talk to them about setting goals, it's something they've literally never done. So type to me in the comments below if you're here. Let me know if you are setting goals, if you know why you're doing what you're doing on a daily basis in your business, if you know what results that will get, and if you know how to create a daily plan of action. So if you were with us, time to go live. If you were with us inside of the most recent virtual party challenge, let me know that that's where we met. Some of you are inside of the Moms Building Online Businesses group for the very first time because we met over in the virtual party challenge. Some of you have been in this group for quite a while. Linda, do you set goals? Linda is a retired school teacher. So Linda, I know that you know what a daily action plan is because as teachers, we call that lesson plans, right? And I think it's very interesting that some people literally are signed up to do businesses they're trying to profit in, and they have literally no idea what to do. They just are doing random actions, kind of like throwing spaghetti at the wall, hoping that something comes out of that, and then wondering if all the things they're doing is actually worth what they're doing. Does this make sense? So Elisa is here. I don't know how to say her first name. Webecki? I know we were just chatting. Say your first name for me out loud at me and then yell at me and then fix it for me. You guys, if you are here, say, hey, I want to talk to you about SMART goals. Go ahead and type in the comments below the word SMART. Have you heard the acronym for SMART goals? I'm going to show you something on my screen. This is not my original content. SMART goals are all over the internet. You can literally Google SMART goals, and I'm just going to pull up a screen share of the acronym SMART. So when you are building a business and you don't know what it means to set goals, one of the first things that I learned from one of my coaches was to set SMART goals. Okay, S-M-A-R-T. We're going to break this down. In your network marketing business, in your online business, if you are literally doing things without a plan, you're wasting your time. So let's go ahead and make sense of the things we're doing, and let's set some SMART goals. I literally just Googled SMART goals. I'm going to pull up this visual here because I like this one. The letter S stands for specific, okay? So when you set specific goals, you have real deadlines. Who is doing this in their business? Who is setting deadlines for your business? Are y'all doing that? Now, if you've gone through virtual party challenge with me before, you guys know that I fell into network marketing when I was a school teacher. I was teaching kindergarten, and at the time that I learned about online business or about network marketing before online business, I knew that if I was going to do this business, the one that I started 15 years ago, that I only had a set amount of time to earn an X amount of income because I was doing the business that I was going to do with the intention to leave my teaching career, okay? So I had a goal from the beginning, from the day that I signed up with my company, that if I was going to give it time, I needed to earn $2,510, okay? $2,510 by that following March. And I was signing up at the very end of September. That was incredibly specific. Are y'all following me on this? Okay. So when I started my business, I had an income goal and a timeline that I had to create that income in that timeline, or I was going to have to re-sign my teaching contract and go teach for another year, but I wanted the option to resign. So it was very easy for me to know what I was working toward. Okay, that was the first thing I started with. So we talk in class, and those of you that came to Virtual Party Challenge, and if you're in my downline, I always say the very first thing is, why are you doing this business? And what do you need to come out of it? And do you have a timeline? So type to me in the comments below if y'all have that. In the example here, it says, don't say, I want more visitors. That is not specific, okay? I want to see 10 new people come into my group every single week. I want to have 10 new guests at every single party. 10 new leads into my funnel, 10 new people that I'm having conversations with, right? Okay, so that's specific. The next thing is measurable. Make sure your goal is trackable. Oh my gosh, who got my tracking sheet? Type in the comments below if you got my tracking sheet, okay? I shared my tracking sheet at the last Virtual Party Challenge when you responded on a post that I put out there, and I messaged you and I got some feedback from you. I gifted you my complete tracking sheet. Yes, it's intense. I started a new business in April. I have tracked every single move we have made, okay? And I have not stood behind generic things like I'm creating my brand, or I want more engagement, or I want, to build my social media influence. I have said, I want to get in front of X amount of people through X amount of parties. I want X amount of sales. I want X amount of bookings, and I'm looking for X amount of business partners, and I need X amount of paycheck. All right. When you start treating your business like this and you start tracking and measuring what you're doing, then you can look at the results and you can do what's working and you can tweak what's not. All right. Attainable is A, you guys. I hope this is putting some purpose into your business that maybe you didn't have before. SMART goals are key for your business. Are you working toward a goal that is challenging but possible? Okay. So Savannah says she wants to make her business full-time at home work by March 2020. So Savannah, if I were coaching you, I would say, let's set some realistic deadlines. Okay. Let's get very specific and let's start tracking the activity. So if you want to be full-time at home by March 2022, you're kind of like my story. All right. So back in 2006, it was the beginning of October, actually, when I started doing this. And I knew by that following March, I wanted to replace my full-time income. So I had very specific goals, right? You have to ask in the A, is this attainable? So Savannah, are you in a network marketing business? What kind of business are you in? Talk to me about that. And we have to look and say, is this doable, right? Is it going to stretch us? Is it going to take some work? Will we get uncomfortable, but is it possible? Or are we going to say something like, I'm going to make $1 million in my sleep before I wake up tomorrow? Like, is it a dream? Or is it actually like something that we could put a plan to and make happen? Okay, Savannah's in direct sales. So if I were coaching you, I would say, okay, we're talking November to March. Is it realistic in your company to move to whatever income level you need to and create that full-time replacement that you need by March? And if so, what does it look like? What's it going to take to do that? Okay. So when I did that in my company, that's what I did. I was like, okay, Kim, she was my upline at that time. I said, I want to make $2,510 consistently by March. Like by March, I need to have this income coming into my home. Okay. So it was late September, early October. It was early October when I was really starting to think about working the business plan. And she laid out a plan for me about what it was going to take. And she said, yes, here's our comp plan, right? Here's the average time it takes to move up in this company. Here's how many people you need to get in front of. And here's our system for success. If you do, and I'm a party girl, right? So if you do 8 parties a month consistently, these are the numbers that should come from that. And so I was like, cool, I can do that. Okay. So now be realistic for the R, be honest with yourself. You know what you and your team are capable of. Now, if you're a team of one, or if you're a team of a team, okay? So maybe you own a business like me with my coaching where you have employees or subcontractors. Maybe you have a business like me with my network marketing where you're working with a team of leaders. Maybe you're painting vision for people. Look at what you currently have, and is it realistic to go from where you are to where you want to be, and what are the missing pieces? So when I draw out circle charts with people, and if you're an evergreen, if you're one of my coaching students, we've done this before where we draw out circles and we have our team. So like, here's me, and I put the other circles of people on my team, and I go, gosh, it's incredibly realistic this month in November for us to do $40,000 or $50,000 in sales based on what we have. We did 30,000 last month. We've got 10 people who are new to the business. If we map this out, it's incredibly realistic. Make sure what you're mapping out, what you're looking at, it makes sense, it's attainable, and it's realistic. Now, are we going to hit 500,000 next month? No. That would be unrealistic. Could we hit 50 and then track for 75 and then 100? Absolutely. Time, this is the last part, you guys. Give yourself a deadline. Don't say you're going to keep pushing towards a goal that you might hit someday. By March 2022, Savannah is going to have created the income in her business that would allow her to stay at home and do her home business instead of the job she currently does. Okay. So the next thing you guys need to do is tell me if this is helpful. If you've never thought this way before, this is a game changer. Set realistic goals, you guys. Make them specific, measurable, attainable, and give them a time frame. All right. The next thing you guys need to do is you got to be writing this stuff out. If you're doing it on a Google tracking sheet, if you're doing it on a pen and paper, if you're using any kind of system where you're tracking your activity, and you have to put things in front of you. So let me get unprepared. Let me grab a piece of paper. Hold on. Stay right there. Count. I'll be right back. I always told my students that. Like, count to 30, I'll be right back. So the next thing that I did whenever I decided, okay, I know what my goals are. I need to be bringing in X amount of income into my family. And I laid it out with the business that I was in, was I put it in front of me. I put it in front of me, and then I created my daily action plan. So it doesn't have to be anything super fancy, but this is key. Get a piece of paper and write down whatever it is that you're working for. So for me, whenever I track network marketing numbers, I don't track, I don't put the $2,500 paycheck I want. I put the sales volume and what it will take for my team to do. So I've always done my number like in a circle like that. And say this month, actually, we're going for 60,000. So we'll go ahead and track that number. Let's go ahead and track that number. Okay. So I would put that number that I'm shooting for, that, because with me, it's network marketing, right? So I would put the number that we're shooting for that's going to create whatever I want for my business, so the paycheck and the leaders. And then I've always drawn out my organization. I've always been taught circle charts. So I've always drawn out circles. Now, let me explain something to you. And then I put my team's name in there. If you guys don't have a team yet, draw your organization. If you're a team of one, it doesn't matter. If you're a team of one, what are you shooting for this month? Say you're shooting for $5,000. Okay. Say you're a team of one and you're shooting for 5,000. How many parties is that? How many people is that? I work my business in parties. So for me, if I'm doing this, this would be 10 parties. Is that realistic and doable for a team of one? Absolutely. That's totally realistic and doable for a team of one. Okay. And what if you're already talking to 2 different people about the business and you could get them started doing 4 parties that month? What actually is possible in your business? So I've always broken things down into circles, okay? And I've looked at what's realistic, and I've left this posted somewhere I can see it. So if you don't do circle charts, that's okay. Write out your goals however you're going to. And let me explain something about this. I've always done this because I was taught this in network marketing, to break down my goals, break down what the activity needs to be. So for me, I love to do parties. If you guys want my party course, by the way, a lot of people don't know that my party course is for sale on our school. If you missed the challenge or you want forever access, type party in the comments below, because I have a party course if y'all need that, okay? But I break everything down into parties. So it's going to be 10 parties, and I like to see 5 new people at every single part. You know how I break it down if you've been through challenge with me. So I break it down and say this is possible. So I learned this in network marketing, okay? I learned this in network marketing, but when I took over my family's home care agency, business is business, right? And I love to teach you guys that business is business. So when my mom passed away and I left network marketing and I inherited a family home care agency that was actually not profiting, I did not know what to do. I literally did not know what to do. I looked at the numbers that we were bringing into the business. It wasn't enough to pay the bills. And I said, you know what? I think I know how to do this. What amount of money do we need to bring in? What do we need to bill every single week to compensate these bills and to actually turn profitable? And we mapped out that number. And I remember, I think the first number that we were bringing in like $2,000 a month, but we kept growing our number. And this was the very first step I did. I put 7,000 in a circle and I posted it on the desk at work. And I told Rachel, I don't know how we're going to do it, but this is what we need to bring into the business every single week. And then I said, okay, how many hours does an average client do? And she said 6 hours is an average client. Okay. And so then we just started breaking down. If we want to bring in 7,000 and each client averages 6 hours, how many clients do we need to have? And we started breaking that down. So it doesn't matter what business you guys are doing, you can do the same concept. From there, to create your daily action plan, set your SMART goals, break down your number into activity. If you do parties, you know why I love to teach parties. If you break down your activity into parties, it's simple. You're going to say, okay, I'm going to do 10 presentations a month or 8 presentations a month. And an average presentation has X amount of people and X amount of sales and gets X amount of bookings. If you went through Virtual Party Challenge, I shared my exact numbers with you, how we went from 0 to 30,000. We've done now over about 125,000 in sales in the last 5 months, breaking it down through parties. Okay. So if you guys love parties, if you want my party course, type the word party below. We do have that available. If you don't do parties, if you want to break it down into whatever system you're using, how are you getting in front of people? Maybe you're doing one-on-one phone calls. Maybe you're doing 3-way chats. Maybe you're doing Zoom presentations. Maybe you're doing something that is a party, but you don't call it a party. It's like a group presentation or an in-home presentation. How are you getting in front of people? Break down how many of those things you need to do every single month or every single week. Track the activity and the results that come from that. Okay. All right. Let me check into any questions you guys have. I know that we don't get to go into this as deep as I get to go with my coaching students. If you want more intense support, if you want to work with our team, type I need help in the comments below. Every Monday I come into this group. I don't get to go as intense as I get to go with my students. We do have a full program for those of you who need the support and the accountability and the personalization in your business. If you need more help, type I need help. Okay. If you did not get my tracking sheet, were you in the last virtual party challenge? Okay. If you did not get my tracking sheet and you were in the last virtual party challenge and you responded on the post, it might be sitting in an inbox message. If not, message me because I asked you some questions. You responded to the questions and then I sent you that as a gift. So message me if you did not get my tracking sheet. 12 parties in 1 month, lay out your plan for what you guys can do. When you're doing 12 parties, make it incredibly trackable. So incredibly purposeful, incredibly repeatable. How many people at each party? What's the average sales? However you break down your business, it's just what makes it easy to do. Yay, Julie, I'm so excited. She bought the party course. It's a 60-page workbook. You've got the one with answers, the one without answers. You've got recorded challenges from the last year, and you've got all of our extra tools for parties. I'm really excited for you. And then Aikila, tell me what you were looking for. I'm not sure what you were looking for. All right. And if you're in the last virtual party challenge, message me if you missed that. If you have a larger team, would you track it out as one? Okay, so this is how I do a larger team. Break it up. It's the exact same system. I wish I had a marker. $500,000 in sales, 1,800, doesn't matter. Okay. So here's your big organization. So if you're going to say, and I don't know who you are because it didn't say, but if your big number is 500K, okay, I'm going to assume this is broken up into leaders, right? I'm going to assume this is broken up into leaders. So each leg probably has its own chunk. So maybe this leader is doing 100. Hey, Lindsay. This leader is maybe doing 100. Who's this person, right? Maybe this leader is doing 40. Maybe this leader is doing 40. And you might have to get a bigger piece of paper. I don't know how many key legs you have. And then from each of those, I break down their organization. Okay, so break it down into key leaders. You need to teach your leaders to do this, right? So everybody has a little name. So this could be, I don't know, Amanda. This is Casey. This is Stacy, whoever they are. Break them down, okay? What you're helping your leaders do is say, okay, Amanda, you say that you guys are going to do 100,000 this month. Where's that coming from, right? She's like, well, this girl's doing 30. On average, she's been doing 25, but she's got 2 new people starting. This girl's going to do 10, which is totally realistic. She's brand new, but she's got enough activity on her calendar and she has 2 business partners, right? This girl says she's doing 40, but she's never even worked yet. So yeah, that may not be realistic. I need to reevaluate. And then all of a sudden Amanda's like, okay, actually maybe more like 60 would be a good goal for us. If we stretch, we can hit 100, right? So you do this with each of your leaders, and then you look, is this 500K realistic? You're like, yeah, pretty solid, pretty solid. And this is a wish over here. And then evaluate maybe good, great, and awesome goals. That's how I've always been taught too, is good, great, and awesome goals. And this is how you break down, you guys. It doesn't matter if you're breaking down 500, 500,000, 500 million. Each of these are little sections, and each of your leaders need to be doing that. So Lindsay, I assume that part of that as well is maybe your kind of stash of people. So if I break down 40,000 into 10,000 here, 10,000 here, 10,000 here, 10,000 might be my little section that I'm trying to do with a bunch of new people. So literally it's just like spider webs, like just keep webbing it out. You might have to get a big Post-it note, but you should be tracking this. And never in your business should you be so surprised that you thought you were going to hit 500 and you hit 100, right? Somewhere there was a breakdown. Somebody's not setting realistic goals. Somebody's not having the activity to match the goals that they've set. And that's usually what it is. People are like, I'm going to do 100,000 this month. I'm earning the top level of the company. I'm like, awesome. What does your organization look like? What does your calendar look like? And they're like, nothing. Or they say, yes, we've got it broken down over my whole organization. We have 200 parties scheduled this month, and on average, they're 500 in sales. Okay, that's a realistic goal, right? So break it down. All right, you guys, that's it for today. I hope that was helpful. I hope this gets you thinking about how to start treating your business even more than you may already be doing like a business, setting goals, writing things down, and matching the activity and creating your daily method of success to go along with that. If you're an evergreen, we provide you what I suggest as a daily method of success every single day, whether you're doing presentations, individual parties, individual one-on-ones, but the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 method is what I teach. And I'm glad it was helpful. As usual, miscellaneous random ideas that come to my head that I decide to pop in here and share. If you guys do need party help, type party in the comments below. If you need business help, type I need help in the comments below. I'll just book a call with you. We'll sit together one-on-one and figure out how I can best help you. And Heidi, this should probably look familiar to you. Are you used to breaking down circle charts? Because we're in the same business. That's where I first learned the circle chart thing. So I love that. All right, you guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye for now.